Egypt, a land shrouded in mystery, where ancient history meets modern-day marvels. Known for its monumental achievements in the past, from towering pyramids to legendary pharaohs, Egypt is a country that continues to captivate the imagination. But beyond the stories of kings and queens lies a nation that has evolved over millennia. What secrets does Egypt still hold, and how has its legacy shaped the world? Egypt's history stretches back over 5,000 years, beginning with the rise of the ancient Egyptian civilization along the fertile banks of the Nile River. It was here that Egypt became a cradle of culture, knowledge, and power. The Old Kingdom gave us the pyramids, the Middle Kingdom showcased an era of architectural expansion, and the New Kingdom became known for the great pharaohs like Ramses II and Tutankhamun. But Egypt's history wasn't always glorious. It faced invasions, from the Persians to the Romans, and then came the Arab conquest in the 7th century, marking the beginning of Islamic Egypt. The Ottoman Empire's rule left a deep imprint, followed by British colonialism in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Finally, in 1952, Egypt emerged as an independent republic, led by President Gamal Abdel Nasser, ushering in a new era of nationalism and modernization. Today, Egypt is home to over 109 million people, making it the most populous country in the Arab world. Cairo, the bustling capital, alone houses more than 20 million people in its metropolitan area. The country's population is concentrated along the Nile Valley and Delta, with 95% of the population living on just 5% of the land. The remaining vast deserts remain sparsely populated, a stark contrast that highlights Egypt's unique geography. A major challenge Egypt faces is the rapid population growth. The pressure on infrastructure, resources, and the economy is immense. However, Egypt's youthful population, where over half are under the age of 25, presents a significant opportunity for growth, innovation, and future development. Egypt's economy is a complex mix of agriculture, industry, and services. Agriculture was once the backbone of the country's economy, but today, it's only about 11% of Egypt's GDP. The fertile Nile Delta remains key for crops like cotton, rice, and wheat. However, the real economic drivers today are industry and services. The Suez Canal is one of Egypt's most crucial assets, generating billions of dollars annually from global trade. Its strategic location connects the Mediterranean and Red Seas, making it vital for maritime shipping. Tourism is another major pillar of Egypt's economy, although it has faced volatility due to political instability and global events. Egypt also relies on the extraction of oil and gas, making it a significant player in the energy market of the Middle East and North Africa. Recently, Egypt has diversified into real estate and construction, with massive projects like the new administrative capital. Egypt's economy is diverse, and people find various ways to make a living based on their location, education, and skill set. The country's workforce is spread across different sectors, with the largest employment opportunities in agriculture, industry, tourism, and the informal economy. Let's take a closer look at these avenues. 1. Agriculture. Despite contributing a smaller percentage to the overall GDP, agriculture remains a significant source of livelihood for many Egyptians, especially in rural areas. The fertile Nile Delta and Nile Valley are home to many farms where crops like cotton, wheat, rice, and sugarcane are cultivated. However, challenges such as water scarcity and overpopulation have made traditional farming less lucrative, with many farmers struggling to sustain a steady income. Egypt's agricultural workforce often contends with limited resources and outdated farming methods, making it difficult to compete on a global scale. 2. Industry and manufacturing. Egypt has a burgeoning industrial sector, particularly in the manufacturing of textiles, food products, and chemicals. Cities like Cairo and Alexandria are home to many factories that employ thousands of people in these sectors. Textile production, in particular, is a significant part of Egypt's industrial output, with the country known for its high-quality cotton. Factories and industrial parks also play a crucial role in employing the population, but wages in this sector can be low, and working conditions are often challenging. 3. Tourism. Tourism is one of Egypt's largest sources of income, with millions of tourists visiting the country each year to see its ancient landmarks, such as the Pyramids of Giza, the temples of Luxor, and the diving spots in the Red Sea. Many Egyptians work in this sector as tour guides, hotel staff, souvenir sellers, and in transportation. However, tourism is a highly volatile industry in Egypt, with the sector being heavily impacted by political instability and global events, such as the COVID-19 pandemic. When tourism declines, it directly affects the livelihoods of millions who rely on it. 4. Government jobs. The government is one of Egypt's largest employers, offering jobs in administration, education, and healthcare. Many Egyptians seek public sector employment because of the stability and benefits it provides, even though salaries can be relatively low. The public sector is particularly attractive to those seeking long-term job security, but the bureaucratic nature of the government often means slower economic mobility for workers in these roles. 5. The informal economy. Egypt has a substantial informal economy where many people work without official employment contracts or legal protections. This sector includes street vendors, small-scale traders, and those who provide informal services like transportation or home repairs. The informal economy thrives in Egypt's large cities and rural areas, where formal job opportunities can be scarce. While this sector provides essential income to millions, it also exposes workers to economic insecurity, as they lack access to benefits like social security or health insurance. 6. Remittances from abroad. Many Egyptians work abroad, particularly in the Gulf countries, and send money back home to support their families. These remittances form a vital source of income for many Egyptian households. This inflow of money from Egyptians working overseas helps support daily living expenses, education, and healthcare for their families, making it one of the most reliable forms of income for many. Egypt is one of the top recipients of remittances in the world, with billions of dollars coming into the country each year from Egyptians living abroad. 7. Entrepreneurship and small businesses. Entrepreneurship is growing in Egypt, particularly among the younger population. Startups in sectors like technology, e-commerce, and services are emerging, with the government providing some support through incubators and financial incentives. Cairo and Alexandria have become hubs for startups, and the youth are increasingly using digital platforms to launch new ventures. However, challenges such as bureaucracy, access to finance, and a lack of supportive infrastructure can hinder the success of small businesses in Egypt. Despite the economic challenges, Egyptians have a remarkable ability to adapt and find ways to make a living. The country's youth are particularly enterprising, exploring new opportunities in fields like tech startups and e-commerce, which offer a glimpse of hope for the future. The rise of digital platforms has also opened doors for small businesses and entrepreneurs. Egypt has a growing pool of educated individuals, especially in the fields of technology, engineering, and medicine. Egyptian doctors, engineers, and skilled professionals are highly sought after abroad, which further drives remittances back home. The country also has a rich tradition in arts, film, and literature, with many Egyptians finding success in the creative industries. Despite progress, Egypt remains a country with significant income inequality. While urban centers like Cairo and Alexandria offer more job opportunities and higher wages, rural areas face higher poverty rates, limited access to education, and fewer job prospects. This disparity has led to a concentration of wealth in the hands of a few, while the majority of Egyptians face economic hardships. Egypt's rapidly growing population has put immense pressure on the job market. Youth unemployment is particularly high, with many graduates struggling to find jobs that match their qualifications. Even those who find work are often underemployed, working in jobs that don't utilize their skills or provide adequate pay. Inflation and the rising cost of living have hit many Egyptians hard. Prices for basic goods and services have increased, while wages have remained stagnant, leaving many struggling to make ends meet. The government has implemented economic reforms, but these often come with austerity measures that impact everyday citizens, making life more difficult for those already on the margins. Corruption in both the public and private sectors can also stifle economic progress. Bureaucratic red tape makes it difficult for small businesses to flourish, and favoritism often leads to inequality in job opportunities and business deals. While efforts have been made to combat corruption, it remains a challenge for the country. In conclusion, the people of Egypt navigate a complex economic landscape where opportunities for wealth and success exist, but are often limited by systemic challenges. While there are pockets of prosperity, the country's broader population continues to grapple with the difficulties of unemployment, inequality, and a volatile economic environment. However, the resilience, resourcefulness, and determination of the Egyptian people are clear as they continue to adapt and strive for better opportunities. When most people think of Egypt, their minds immediately go to the ancient wonders that define the nation's identity. Egypt is synonymous with the Pyramids of Giza, the Great Sphinx, the Valley of the Kings, and the mighty temples of Luxor and Karnak. But beyond its ancient past, Egypt is also known for its rich culture. From the grandeur of Coptic Christianity and the influence of Islam on its modern-day architecture and society, to the vibrant street life, bustling markets, and timeless traditions. Egyptian cuisine, with dishes like koshari and full medams, showcases the unique blend of flavors influenced by its long history. Despite challenges, Egypt remains one of the top tourist destinations in the world, attracting millions of visitors eager to experience its blend of history and beauty. Tourists flock to iconic sites like the pyramids, but there's much more to explore, from the coral reefs of the Red Sea, a paradise for divers, to the hidden oases in Egypt's western deserts. The tourism sector is a double-edged sword for Egypt. It's one of the country's main sources of foreign currency, but it's also extremely vulnerable to global crises and security concerns. Efforts to modernize the tourism infrastructure, such as the Grand Egyptian Museum near Giza, aim to re-energize Egypt's global tourism appeal. Perhaps the most iconic symbol of ancient Egypt is the Pyramids of Giza. The three pyramids were built as tombs for pharaohs, with the largest, the Great Pyramid, standing over 146 meters tall. It was built for Pharaoh Khufu, while the other two were for Khafre and Menkaure. The construction of these colossal structures remains a mystery, baffling archaeologists and scientists. How were they built without the technology we have today? Some theories suggest that ramps, manpower, and advanced knowledge of astronomy were key to their construction. Others suggest that we may never fully understand how the pyramids were made. Inside, the pyramids contain labyrinthine passages and chambers that have fascinated explorers for centuries. Some believe they were filled with hidden treasures, while others think they were part of larger spiritual and cosmic designs. But despite extensive exploration, the pyramids still guard many of their secrets. Egypt, with its blend of ancient and modern, remains one of the world's most intriguing countries. From its monumental achievements in the past to its current role as a key player in the Middle East, Egypt's journey is one of resilience, transformation, and wonder. Whether through its bustling cities, ancient ruins, or cultural contributions, Egypt continues to write its story, a story as enduring as the pyramids themselves.